Stephen K. Bannon.
This entire fiasco to stop people who want to build the wall. Hey, get inside the crowd. Get inside the crowd.
Welcome to War Room Pandemics, 21st of August, year of our Lord 2020. We're live from the nation's capital. Remember, we started this show back we started during the impeachment, but we segued into the pandemic in January. Why? We knew that when we saw what was happening in Hubei province and in Wuhan, the quarantine, that this was going to be something that changed world history. And so we got on top of that. What's the pandemic? What's going to happen worldwide? The economic crisis is going to trigger the financial capital markets on top of that, but also dealing with this geopolitical confrontation between the Chinese Communist Party and the United States and the politics of it, the politics of 2020. In fact, a lot of people came to us in the spring and said, hey, you got to shift the show back to War Room 2020. Well, the pandemic and everything about that is 2020. And yesterday, what I said coming out of the courthouse, and I got to tell you, how did I miss turning to the TV cameras and going to the print cameras? Donald Trump would never make that mistake. He would automatically know to the TV cameras on one side. And I want to say, the one reason I was looking to one side, the new federal state of China, the support of the Chinese people was absolutely unbelievable. They had all those blue flags there. That's the flag of the new federal state. It was incredible. Look, what I said yesterday, this fiasco is a total political hit job. The timing is exquisite. We have, 72 and a wake-up. Right. 72 and a wake-up to what Donald Trump says is the most important election. I don't actually like using that phrase, but I think he's right about particularly we're going to get into the Democratic convention here. I think it is probably the most important election of our time because the stakes not only so high, the two sides have totally different opinions of what's going on. And listen, my two focuses have been about sovereignty of the Chinese people and sovereignty of the American people. Our focus here has been tear down the firewall, and we assist the Chinese people in freeing themselves from this totalitarian dictatorship. In doing so, you break the back of the party at Davos. You break the back of Wall Street, the City of London, the global corporation. Their business model is all tied to that. Also, the sovereignty of the American people. The wall has been, 4 years ago in the campaign, the wall was one of the biggest, if not the biggest topics. President Trump has done a heroic job in trying to build it. What he said yesterday is absolutely correct. Building the wall is a function of government, but look how much trouble President Trump has had, what he's had to fight against, and not just the progressive Democrats, but also people in his own party. There has just not been enthusiasm, as there has been for the deplorables. And remember, our audience here, besides the hedge fund guys and the news producers and all the political types that listen to the show, because they want to see what people are thinking, they want to see what people are responding to. That's why this show is for the deplorables and for Lao Beijing, which are the deplorables of China. But look, I am not going to back down. This is a political hit job. Everybody knows I love a fight. I was called Honey Badger for many years. Honey Badger doesn't give. So, I'm in this for the long haul. I'm in this for the fight. I'm going to continue to fight. This was to stop and intimidate people that want to talk about the wall. This is to stop and intimidate people that have President Trump's back on building the wall. One thing I can tell you from the heroic effort we did, and really Brian Kolfage, who's an American hero. Brian Kolfage is, I think, the most wounded airman in the history of the Air Force to survive. He's a triple amputee, almost bled out multiple times after he's hit during the Afghan and Iraq war, and just an American hero. The pain and agony that guy still goes through every day. He has dedicated his life, when he had this idea, dedicated his life to building the wall. Remember, President Trump's right. Building the wall is a government function. We've never questioned that at all, right? This was to show support for President Trump in the wall movement, and the wall has to be built. This political hit job is to try to stop and intimidate people about not just building the wall, but what sovereignty means.